In this video, we're going to actually teach you how you can run AI-powered ads on Facebook. So number one, there's three different things that we need to know. There's the campaign level, there's the ad set level, and there's also the ad level. So usually the campaign will have multiple ad sets, and inside every single ad set, there'll be multiple ads. How it's usually structured is the ad set is essentially the targeting that we use, and then the ad is more so the creative, the headline, the call to action that we use. So let's go over and start creating a campaign. So number one, we press create campaign, and we want to generate leads for our clients. Go ahead and press continue. Go ahead and select manual lead campaign. And in here, we could go ahead and name this campaign. So we could go ahead and name it P0 campaign. And we'll go ahead and go over to the ad set. So this ad set, usually how we structure it for local contractors is we have an open ad set, we have an income ad set, and then we have an interest ad set. So inside of your one campaign, you're going to have three different ad sets. So for the first one, let's go ahead and do open and a 50-mile radius. Here we'll select instant form, select the Facebook page, maximize number of leads, go down, select the budget. So now let's take a look at the daily budget. So let's say we have a client that has $50 ad spend per day, and we're targeting three different ad sets. So each of them will have around 16.67 bucks per day. So let's go ahead and make this 15 to make it easy. And then here, what we need to do is essentially select edit, and whatever your local contractor is currently serving in, we need to go target those areas. So for example, let's go ahead and select they're in Los Angeles. We'll select that city, and then we'll go ahead and select the radius around where they actually want to target. And one thing we need to know is make sure this is turned off. If you have this turned on, it might start targeting people in different states that are likely to convert, but we need to make sure that this is currently turned off. Afterwards, we go over to Advantage Audiences. If you have open targeting, you don't have to do anything. Well, let's say we want to target a specific audience, which in your interest targeting, we're going to go ahead and do that. Or in the income ad set, we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Afterwards, for placements, you could go ahead and select it as Advantage Plus placements. But usually what we like to do is go ahead and do manual placements. We deselect audience network. And the only things we want to have it in is Facebook feed, Instagram feed, and then go down to stories and reels. We'll have it Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram reels, and Facebook reels. And then we'll not select that, and then that's good to go. So afterwards, let's go over to the ads. So now what we do here is essentially what we'll go over to is ChatGPT. And I basically have this prompt generate me an ad creative along with primary text, headline, call to action for the following website. We want to create a free estimate for impact roofs for Los Angeles homeowners. On top of that, what you can do is also add unique selling points. Like, for example, this company has $10,000 off in Florida and 30% off impact windows and doors, and we could attach that in the ChatGPT. Top of that, here's the client's logo, and we go ahead and copy and paste that logo into ChatGPT. We'll go ahead and press run and see what it generates us. So now let's take a look at what the AI generated. So it generated us the primary text, the headline, the call to action. On top of that, what we told it to do is basically make the creative. This first one looks a little bit janky. The bottom one is cut off, but I told it to generate it again. The second one was also a little bit janky, but I would do it multiple times for you to actually get the right creative. So the third one, basically I prompted it to add the logo on the bottom left, and this was a good ad that was generated. So now we download this ad, and then let's use the primary text to set up the ad creative. So let's go ahead and copy this. We'll go here. We could change this to basically name it whatever in terms of like blue and red. Usually for the ad name, I like to just say what the ad actually is or looks like. So afterwards, we go ahead and press create ad. So here what we do is go ahead and set up ad creative, and we're going to go ahead and upload that ad creative. Now go ahead and press next. Press next again, and then go ahead and add the primary text. Usually I like to space it out a little bit. And then what we need here on the bottom is the call to action. So let's go over back to the headline. And then you could either select all of these or you could just not select any of them. For me, I like to keep everything unselected. And then go ahead and go to the headline. And then call to action would be learn more. And then description. Now let's go ahead and press next. Press skip and continue. Press done. And now as you can see, we have an ad. Usually for this, the reason why it's cut off, we'll need to do a square image for the most part. As you can see on the stories, it looks fine, but on the regular photos, we might need to tell AI to basically just generate this in a square image. Square images is friendly on both Facebook and also Instagram. But you could tinker around with this. So next step is basically creating your instant form. We have one here, but we can also create it from scratch. Whenever you create one, let's just go ahead and duplicate this. I could show you what it kind of looks like. So you can name your form and then more volume, optimize. You can also do higher intent or require leads to verify their phone number. But usually I start out with more volume, go to intro. So it should be something like a call to action. You can also prompt ChatGPT to do this. And for the most part, we're looking for whatever XYZ. And then for the questions, how we usually structure it, you could do conditional logic depending on the budget. Let's say a homeowner doesn't have a budget for a new pool or something. You could go ahead and do conditional logic. But for the most part, we like to do things pretty simple. So the first question we ask, how soon are they trying to get it? Which area are they trying to upgrade? And then are they actually the homeowner? So for this, for example, you could go ahead and do conditional logic. So if they're not the homeowner, we go ahead and send them to an end page where they're not going to go through our funnel. And then the questions that we ask, instead of actually having them fill out their contact details, what we usually do is do the full name, the phone number, the email, and the zip code. So they manually have to fill it out. And that will reduce the amount of bots coming into our funnel if you've ever experienced that with Facebook. Afterwards, the privacy policy, you could go ahead and attach that, and then you'll go ahead and go to the ending. Either send them directly to your website, you could modify the headline or description for this, and then what you do is you can also add a calendar link where they can book an estimate directly. If it looks good, you could go ahead and press create form, but for the most part, we already have a form, so I'm not going to press create form. And now let's go ahead and duplicate this. We could add 2 or 3 more ad sets under this one ad, but let's go ahead and duplicate this and also do the interest targeting. Now we close out of that window, we go to ad sets, go ahead and press duplicate, and then here we'll go ahead and change it. This one I like to do higher net worth individuals, so we'll go down to advanced audience plus, switch to original audience, and here what we'll type in is basically select this, close that. Don't do Advantage Plus detail targeting. And we'll type in top income. We could either do top 5%, top 10%, 10 to 25%, and you can play around with the targeting. For the most part, all of ads is basically about split testing everything. And then we'll go ahead and press close, and then we'll duplicate this again. We'll change this. And then this one, I want to target roof shingles. So let's go over to the targeting that we had here. And then we could target people that are interested in roof shingles, delete that. And then now what we have, we could close out of this. And if it looks good, you could go ahead and press publish. But now we're basically targeting $15 a day is going to be spent on open targeting just for Facebook's AI to find out what is the best audience. We're also targeting $15 a day in terms of people interested in a roof shingle, and also $15 a day regarding the top income of the US. And each of these will have 2 or 3 ads under every single one. I only created one, for example. And then if everything looks good, we press review and publish. Now we're going to go over to GHL to go ahead and do the form mapping. So now what we'll do is go ahead and do the GHL form mapping. If you don't do this, you'll not get leads directly piped in from Facebook. So a lot of your clients won't get any leads. So we'll go ahead and go to settings and then go down to integrations and then go to Facebook form field mapping. And here we already mapped it, but if you have a new lead form, it'll go ahead and say map fields. But essentially, whenever you do that, you'll need to map it to the CRM fields. And then after you mapped everything, press confirm and everything is good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot of value out of it. So if you're interested, I attached a link down in my school community. In the school community, basically we teach you all of the ads, all of the systems, all the sales scripts, all of the things that we're currently doing to sell AI infrastructures to local contractors, so you could just copy us. On top of that, we have weekly calls, and you could go ahead and join those where you could go ahead and do Q&As with me. I could break down your funnels. I could solve any bottlenecks that you might have. If you're interested, I attach a link down in the description. If not, I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you there.